Hello, I'm with your Omni table once again. Going to show you how I like to strip wire. Got my stripper. I got my wire. I want to score the jacket. You want to make sure when you score the jacket, you do not hit any copper on those conductors. If you do, you start over. Finished product is the most important part. Stop. Once again, the finished product is what matters. You'll see it slightly out of view because I did not plan very well, but I'm human. So here we are. Take 3, take 4. Here we go. Whoa, here we go. Score it. And then I'm going to take my stripper, put pressure on the jacket just after the score. And there you go. It pulls off nicely. And you got yourself some conductors without any sort of scarring on the individual little jackets, whatever they call them. Then I'm going to pick the right hole on the stripper to catch those inner conductor jackets and just rip them off there. If you feel any sort of tension on that copper, you need to start over. You don't want to nick or score it at all. It's going to hurt the integrity of that wire down in the future. Make sure everything looks good and you are ready to go. Then we're going to clean up a little bit here because we are not a total slob, despite what my ex may say. And jokes aside, we're going to grab something, trail off. This is a good time to tell you about OmniTable. Get yourself one today. Shop around, don't get taken like I did. OmniTable. Yeah. Here in a second. Oh, here I am. Look at that. Right on cue. I've brought myself a resistor and I've got 2 B connectors. Some people call them beans. I'm going to make a splice. I was once taught 6 twists, at least 6 twists. I say twist quite a few times. Clip off the excess. You don't want those wires to pull apart. I've seen people not twist them together. That is wrong. You don't just stick it in and crimp it. You twist it. So even if that bean wasn't there, it's still connected. And then you push it on there and you crimp it down. You got yourself a solid connection. And having not nicked any of the wires, it's going to hold for years to come. And that is a fact. I don't care what anyone says. That's just a fact. There you have it. I've got a resistor on my wires. It's solid. It looks good. I'm going to cover it with some tape. That was a thumbs up that you could barely see because it was out of the shot. Thank you, OmniTable. This would be a good time to tell you when I originally started stripping wires years ago back in the 90s. I used a very simple stripper that didn't have different holes for different sizes of conductors, and I just went by feel and I never made a mistake, rarely ever. But I took a couple years off of the wire game, and when I came back, I no longer had the feel. I've lost it. I was off of my game, as they say. So I had to go to the preset holes for the right size for the conductors to make sure I didn't make mistakes. Do whatever you can do to make sure that you are not making mistakes in nicking those wires, because you're going to cause problems down the road if you do. There's another, look at that beautiful OmniTable right there. It is wonderful. Oh, here we are, and I've got myself a Cat 5, Category 5 wire. Gonna score it. Then I just bend it slightly, the jacket, and it pulls right off. All my conductors, and there's no nicking, no scoring of anything I don't want to score. And there you have it. Now, when you strip the Cat 5 wire, I've got these wonderful strippers. They're fantastic. I've got different size holes for different size conductors. This is 24 gauge wire, so make sure yourself has, make sure you've got yourself, make sure that you have gotten 24 gauge hole on your wire strippers. The strippers I have are made by Klein. They're fantastic. They cost probably like $25. They were expensive, but I've had them for a number of years. Very well worth the money. Probably one of the best tools that I have. I showed you I used the side cutters or the dikes to make a little crease or a little cut that lets me split that jacket down. I use the conductors to pull out, and now I'm going to strip. I think I'm using the brown pair here. Hard to tell because I'm terrible at close-ups. And then I take the 24 gauge hole and I strip myself my wire conductor jacket off. Comes out perfectly. Once again, if you feel anything at all, anything like, ooh, I hit a little catch on that copper, start over. Cut yourself a new section, start over. You don't want that, especially 24 gauge being so small. You're going to end up with a problem down the road, especially when you twist it. You're putting tension on that wire, you're putting pressure on it. When you twist it together, it bends at that crease and it's going to compromise it. Now I'm going to stick myself a little connector on there and I'm going to crimp it down. Perfect. Voila, as they say, wherever they say voila. What is that? Is it Latin? I don't know. There you go. You got that. Once again, another beautiful shot there at the Omni table. Cleaning up my mess. You always clean up your mess, even though I'm at home, not on the job site. Actually, my wife would be happy. Your wife would be happy. You clean up after yourself. Keep that good reputation of cleanliness around the house. And here we are. At this point, I'm back at the truck. I'm grabbing some more wire to strip. So there you go. Here I come. You see my shadow. I'm coming back. Whoa. Now, as you can see from my shadow, there's movement, and I'm about ready to return. Gonna bring back some RG6 coaxial wire. Gonna strip that coax for you. I'm gonna use a stripper specifically made for that. It's fantastic. It's got two different blades in it. One cuts the inner, one cuts the outer. Here we go. Pick the right size or you cut it wrong. Stick it in. Okay, clean it out. Okay, prep. Stick it in the hole. Stick it out the other side. You put the pressure on it. You spin it around. And then a little pinch there and pull. And it's perfect. But of course it's out of the shot because I am not aimed correctly. That's okay. Look at that. You spread the little braids. You got a little braids. Pull them back there. I'm going to get my F connector here. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to use a compression tool to kind of, well, compress it. Quite frankly, you compress it with a compression tool. That's what it's for. There is a such thing as a crimper for these devices, but there's a such thing as a crimper, but this is not a crimp-on device. This is a compression device. You stick it on there. Oh yeah, the center pole coming through. The center copper right there. I feel it. Awesome. Then I'm going to get my compression tool and I'm going to compress it down, lock it in, and check and do a little pull test and make sure that it does not come off. Back at the truck, as you can see from my shadow, and coming back in 3, 2, 1.5. What am I doing? Okay. Downtime. A chance to talk about this wonderful Klein stripper there. Only cost me $10. Theme here, running theme. Klein. I love the Klein stuff. My Klein compression tool as well, very good. And here I am back at the table, the Omni table. I've got my Klein, it's yellow and black, my Klein compression tool. Stick it in there. And yep, okay. Wheel out my little doodad to make sure it's the right, fits the right thing there. You've got 3 different ways it can go in depending on the fitting. Stick it in there, compress it, and there you go. I do a little tug on it, a little tug to make sure, a little tug test, a little tug on it. It survives the tug test. I got my little center little piece there, my little copper. I mean, it's, I don't want to get dirty here. It's male though, let's just say. And I'm gonna clip off a little excess, and that's perfect. You can screw that right onto your fitting there to the female side. That's all you do. That is stripping, and that's also crimping. There you have it.